we're just preparing for the worst case scenario.
But for the audience, what do you, I hate to be pessimistic given your optimism about life usually. What does that worst case scenario look like to you?
Before mass production, distribution of the antibodies, the vaccine comes, some major company could crash. The savior of those collapse of the domino effect could happen. Like the Lehman crisis, just one bank.
Thing freeze out. Let's refresh this. Let's see. Looks like it might be frozen. This is the internet connection. Looks like it's down. Let's check the US 30. This thing dropped heavy. Oh wow, this thing was in profit at midnight. That's crazy. Okay. Let's close this. Wow, it's still dropping. This thing is dropping like crazy. What time is it now? 6:40. Oh, here we go.
Unless the calls ran out. I don't know about where they stand in their options position, which had been fairly large. But again, Haas has had another come from depth, he's near-death experience. We were everything going against him, and then kind of really turning it around and realizing a lot of what had been undervalued assets at SoftBank for some time and started to realize the value of it. Well, not to mention the ARM transaction, not to mention, they've gone through so many different things. Yeah.
But you know what? It's a good segue into Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
And Buffett blew out of his bank stocks after.
Hey guys, how's it going? Morning, Greg. Morning, Matt. Let me send out this link to everyone so everyone can join in, and then we can get started. Let's see. And I was looking at US 30. It looks like it dropped like insanely since London session. It's pretty crazy. Keep an eye on that as well. Let me send this out real quick. Send it there. It's funny. I'm just reading the messages in the chat, guys. I haven't got a chance to look at it yet. A couple questions over here as well. Let me
He's sticking by them for ages. He blew out of them.
Morning, Alec, and morning, John. Morning, Gactive. Morning, everybody. Let me I'm gonna keep posting the links on our social media real quick, and then once I'm done with this, we can get started, guys. But yeah, I was just talking to everyone else about US 30. If you guys saw US 30, it dropped like crazy since London. So this would have been the this would have been the London open right here on midnight, and it literally dropped how many pips?
Yeah, along with
yeah, it dropped about 3,600 pips within how much time? 6 o'clock, maybe about 6 hours. Wow, yeah, 6 hours and 30 minutes, and it's still dropping. I was thinking about hopping in for a sell, but I'm worried that it's going to, you know, there's going to be room for like a ton of manipulation because it's only going to drop so far until, you know, either the government activates their circuit breakers where they stop price from moving, they just freeze it to stop it from dropping. And then if that happens, you're going to be screwed because if you have a sell, that could easily continue down in your favor, or it can shoot right back up because people are trying to buy the dip. Yeah, I'm going to keep following it, see what happens here. We don't have a signal coming up anytime soon. It doesn't look like it's going to keep dropping. But when people do buy that dip, you know, we'll be ready with that buy signal to enter this trade. So let me just get this on the Facebook real quick. Oops, wrong link. And then let me get this on the Instagram real quick. Where's my phone at? Okay, cool. Let's make the screen full size. Let's go over to, yeah, let me just post this on the Instagram real quick, guys, and then we can get started. I mean, there's not much to get started with because there's a lot of news this morning. Plus, I mean, the main thing we'll be looking at is US 30 because the next candle doesn't close until 10. So we have about 3 hours for the next 4-hour candle to close for FX. But, you know, obviously we'll be watching US 30 currently. So let me just post this up on the Instagram real quick. And then once we get this going, we can get started. All right, cool. Looks like yeah, looks like we're good to go, guys. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and then we can cover pretty much anything you guys want. It's pretty much an open day today, especially with, you know, all the news this morning. So we're gonna be a little careful. I mean, even the GCAD that I called earlier, it's super risky. I don't know if it's pulling back just because of this big bullish move. Let's see how many pips did this move up? Because I mean, obviously it would have to retrace back a little bit. It pushed up about 100 pips. So it's probably pulling back slightly to this zone right here before, you know, shooting back up. But remember, guys, if you guys are taking any trades, always remember to use the exit strategy. Like right now is not a time for you to take any risks because of how the market's moving. It would be best for you to eliminate your risk whenever possible and guarantee profits because you never know what's going to happen in the market, especially with the Fed speaking in about 3 hours. Jay Powell's going to speak, so he's going to create some havoc in the market possibly. But I don't know. The data is supposed to be good for the US, so maybe it'll work out in, let's see, in our favor. But I mean, we'll see how that plays out. Actually, no, because for NU we have a buy position. So if it works out in the favor of the USD, it's going to come down further. So I hope you guys got out at TP1 or TP2 because it was up there for a while. It was up here, and TP2 was somewhere around here. So I actually got out at TP2 for about 20 something pips or 17 pips. So I'm out in profit already. I don't know if you guys are still in this trade, but I'm currently out. It's JPY right here, CHF JPY. It's about to hit full TP. And those are the only two positions that we really have active, you know, at this time. Let me open this thing real quick. Today's one of those days I need energy drink. All right. All right, guys. So let's see. Let me pull up the YouTube real quick, see if there's any questions since I went live. Oh, nice. Okay. There's a lot of people here now. So yeah, morning, Mark, morning, Peter, morning, Spencer, morning, John, morning, Usman, morning, John. Again. Yeah, Peter said what caused the big drops on indices. Let me take a look real quick. I'm wondering too, bro, because I just woke up, you know, not too long ago, and this drop is huge. Like from London up until now, it dropped nearly 4,000 pips within like 6 hours. That's crazy. And I was saying that, you know, I wanted to hop in these sells, but the problem is if it drops too far down, then, you know, the treasury or the government or whatever, they're going to activate their circuit breakers where they freeze price. And then when they freeze price, it's like literally a gamble. It's literally going to either drop down further, or everyone's going to buy the dip and it's just going to shoot right back up. It's kind of similar to what happened back in March. I don't know if you guys were trading US 30 back in March, but that's when we were, when I started trading it more heavily. And if we go back to March, let me just show you real quick. So if we go back to March over here, let's turn this off. Or even September, like right here, September, you see these huge drops. These are like when circuit breakers were activated. So price came down right here and then it froze up right here because price just dropped too heavily. Usually the government does that to protect the stock market, so there's no like some crazy crash, but it dropped heavily right here. It stopped for a bit and then it just dropped even more. And it faked people out because this little bullish candle right here made people think it was going to recover, but then it just kept dropping. If you go back to March, when COVID started their lockdowns and stuff, that's when it was like really crazy. Like it literally was like a free fall. Let's see how far I can go back from. I should have just went on the higher time frame because it's, yeah, let's go on the 1 hour actually. But yeah, so like check this out, guys. Right here, this was back in February. It started dropping slightly, and then right here in March, you can see it have a crazy free fall, and you can see where these gaps in the market are. That's when they started to activate these circuit breakers, because like right here, prices dropped too much, and then like I mentioned, you know, people try to buy the dip right here, but then it ends up just crashing back even further. So that's what I'm worried what will happen right now if it keeps dropping further, because let's see how far this dropped. This dropped way more though. So it wasn't actually, no, it actually dropped a little less. So depending on how far it drops, you can see all these gaps in the market right here because of those circuit breakers. And that's kind of what I anticipate happening here if it continues to drop further. So let's see, from here to here. Yeah, it's dropped like 3,000 pips, nearly 4,000 pips. So we'll see how that plays out. But it's not something that, you know, I really want to risk, because there's no need for us to risk, you know, gambling on this trade if it's going to keep dropping like that. But let's take a look at the news, see if there was anything. CNBC is on commercial right now. Well, we did have the core sales at 5:30, but I don't think that was what affected US 30. Let's check out the see. Likely years to issue digital currency. Oh, you know what it was? Or what I think it might be was that there's a ton of closures throughout the US. I know my area closed up, like all the gyms, they closed all indoor dining, all that stuff. So we're kind of like in California sort of in a lockdown again. So I'm not sure if that caused the drop, because I think the East Coast is on shutdown too. So the East Coast is on shutdown, California's on shutdown. I'm not sure what other states are, but I'm sure other states are having to shut down again due to the COVID statistics. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm trying to look here in the news. I don't really see anything specific that caused the drop. Well, let's take a look at CNBC. Let me pull up CNBC over here. I'm going to see if there's anything that, because, you know, one of the major news sources has to cover, you know, reason for that. Okay, so let's see. Dow drops 350 points after notching a record close. So it looks like we just established a high. I mean, I don't think that's the exact reason why it happened, but we did establish a high. Right here, it says Dow Jones falls 350 points after notching a record close. Let's see, sharp decline in drugstore shares. The drugstore shares dropped. Economic data. The economic data wasn't good. Yeah, so we had a decline in drugstore shares. We also had a decline in retail sales, which, you know, it's obvious, just makes sense because of COVID. And it looks like it established another high since for the year, I guess. Yeah, it looks like for the year it was a new high. So that's why people are just shorting the Dow. there's a lot of there's a lot of factors that cause the drop. So there's not one thing. You know, it's with the COVID shutdown. That's like one. Resale sales are down. That's two. Obviously, a lot of companies going bankrupt. That's three. And then it just looks like a sharp decline in drugstore shares. So I mean, there's a ton of things that that's affecting the market that could have caused this drop. I don't think it was just one, you know, main thing. But it looks like it's still going to continue dropping. It looks like a whole bunch of people are jumping on the bandwagon for sells right here for shorting. But, you know, the Dow could only go down so far, honestly. So I'm not too worried for it. You know, we probably won't get our entry for like the next, like maybe 2 or 3 hours, because it's probably going to, you know, just keep dropping until it hits some sort of support. So let's see if there's any support that's, you know, some nearby. I mean, this price zone right here, which is a whole number, 29,500. This is probably going to be some sort of resistance for price. I think once price reaches this point, it's probably going to come down and then reject off it before either coming down harder or recovering from this point. Let's see the K2SR zones to see where the zones are. So it looks like there's nothing down here. Let me go on the higher time frame, 15, 30. Yeah, so it looks like the next zone is like way down here. So it actually has a long way to go before it could bounce. So this is kind of what I see happening here, guys. Now that I have this lined up, what I see happening here is price is probably going to break below here slightly. It's going to pull back a little bit, and then it's going to drop even further to test this zone. And then once it tests this zone, it can either correct back up or it'll break right through and test this down there. So there's a couple scenarios that could happen here for US 30. It's probably going to come down, break below here, or trace up a little bit, come down. And then once it gets to this point, this is going to be the critical price point, because you can see here that this support has been tested a lot of times. It's a pretty strong support area. Yeah. So these are the scenarios that I see happening right here. It either comes down, retraces up, comes down further. And once it tests this price zone, it's probably going to either correct back up or it's going to break right through it. So, you know, that's something we could look out for. I'm going to save this on the chart so we can take a look once, you know, this actually happens. But I mean, we'll see how this plays out. Let's see, I'm going to go through the chat real quick, so I'm missing some stuff that I didn't look over. Mark said, hey, Shawn, I knew you weren't taking the UK 100 trade, so I gave it away. Yeah, that's cool, Mark. I saw your message in the premium. You know, you might as well give it to people to try out, because I'm not going to be testing it. You know, I'm not going to stay awake during London session. I don't have the will to stay up during London, because I'd rather take the New York session trade. So hopefully that helps people. And hopefully you guys make a ton of profits trading that strategy. But Mark's tested it, and it seems like it works pretty well. Let's see, Usman said, I think it's manipulation. A lot of news today that seems positive for US 30. Yeah, Usman, it was kind of like all over the place. There's I thought it was going to be positive too. That's why last night I was thinking about, you know, entering some buys, but I mean, we'll we'll have to see how that plays out, you know, for the rest of the day. So that's why I think it's going to recover at some point. I don't think it's going to keep dropping, unless there's something crazy that's happening, like COVID is like literally shutting down the entire United States, like it did back in March. But I don't see that happening anytime soon, especially with the new vaccine coming out. So here's another scenario. Actually, price can come down, and it could actually recover from here. There's like a couple areas of recovery. So price could either come down right here and then reject off this this price zone right here, and then just shoot right back up. Or it can come down right here, test this price zone down here, and then shoot back up. But I think it's going to correct, you know, eventually, because there's going to be people trying to buy the dip. You know, you can't avoid the people trying to buy the dip. They're going to buy the dip regardless. And hopefully like the bullish momentum can push it upwards. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Okay. Spencer's the thoughts of AN. Sorry, Spencer, I did see your message earlier, but I was on live, so I wasn't able to respond to you real quick. But let me check that out for you. See, look at this news right here. Home builder confidence in November shatters record highs. Buyers keep fleeing for the suburbs. I don't know. This is kind of skewed, I feel, because over here in California, I feel like people are coming back to the downtown areas. It didn't seem like, it seemed like everyone was leaving the downtown areas in March, but then it seemed like a lot of people were coming back because I live right next to the airport, and there's a ton of people that are starting to move into these areas as well. So, I mean, we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, these are conflicting news because everything else looks bad, but then this is, good for the economy as well. So let me pull up AN real quick for Spencer. He was asking about that in the chat, but I didn't get a chance to respond. Looks like our CHF JPY position hit full TP right here. So let me just post this up as well. Or not yet. I guess we can wait for it to keep pushing farther down. But it looks like it pretty much did. But I'll get the thing ready to be posted since yeah, it's about to hit full TP anyway. So right, it technically did. CHF JPY. I'll just hold off on it until it actually until it hits. Let's see what we got here. Share this real quick. All right, so let's check out AN real quick. Spencer. Actually, let me keep going down the all right, cool. So I see a whole bunch of messages here, guys. So I'm going to look at AN real quick because I don't want to skip it or skip over the questions. Spencer wanted me to check out AN real quick. So let me see the zones. Looks like we have a zone right here. It's a brand new zone. Hide this. See if the zones line up good. Yeah, it looks pretty smooth. So I'm going to take this off the chart. All right, cool. So this is what it looks like right now. Spencer, I think, once this closes below this zone right here, then you can possibly take a sell position, but it's going to have to break below that zone. But when it does, it should be pretty nice. So like from there, this would probably be the move for that specific pair. Yeah, so it looks pretty solid if it breaks below it. But you got to keep in mind that it's only 33 pips if it closes just below it. If it closes, let's see, if it closes like way down here, it's probably going to be a little riskier because it's less of a cushion for you to, get in and out before it reaches this next zone right here. But what you can do is this is technically a late entry for this signal right here. So it looks like if you took this sell, it never would have finished. You can see we had a sell signal right here, and it's technically still coming down. I might even make this a late call and just call a sell stop right here. So if it does come down, we can catch that ride downwards because this trade never hit stop loss. If we did take this one specific trade, and it's still on its way down. So if this candle closes right here, it's possibly going to continue down. So maybe I'll just call this trade as a late entry, so that because it does look like it's going to come down. Let's check out the rest of the AUD pairs. Yeah, they're all bearish. You see that? So it looks like the AUD is really weak right now. So I'm actually going to call that trade. Let's see. I'm going to take it on my own account as well. Sell stop. Sell stop. How many pips is that? 40 pips. What's the price? I'm going to call this trade real quick. So I took it right there on my personal account. I took about a standard lot, 1.8 lot size. And I only take heavy risk on this account because this isn't my growth account. It's my speculation account. I kind of just take, all the FX trades on this account, and I take heavy lot size because I feel confident about the trade. But I mean, we'll see if this. I got to move this over now. Check this out right here. Let's put that there for now. But yeah, let me put this right here. Sell stop. So you guys saw how I identified that trade, right, guys? I was basically identifying it from the previous entry using the K2SR strategy. So basically right here, we had a sell signal. It broke below the zone right here. So we were anticipating this to push down to this next zone right here. However, it did retrace back a little bit. So what we're doing is we're trying to catch it as it comes right back down. That's why we have a sell stop order right there, because we anticipated to continue down further. So we don't want to enter yet at market, but we do want to enter where, and there's our full TP, guys, for CHF JPY. We hit CHF JPY full TP for 40 pips. So I'm going to post that win right there as well. You guys saw that hit live, so you know that it actually did hit. I'm going to send this trade out first, and then we will move on to that one. All right, so this is odd NZD. Make sure these numbers are right, because I've been posting some numbers and then people always question the numbers. So I just want to make sure everything is on point before I send this out. Right. So we got that right there, TP2, TP1. Let me make sure everyone's in here real quick. Pin this. Let's pin this as well. Actually, I shouldn't pin it, because if I pin it, people are going to they're just gonna miss the other update. So let me pin this real quick too, and I'll pin this. Just want to make sure everyone's in here so we don't miss people that want to be in the room. So okay, I sent out that trade, and I'm going to send out the update for that win right there. Sorry, it's not TP2, it's full TP. All right, we're good with that one. Let me forward this to the alerts group. Send this over to the premium. All right, so we're all good with that. Let me, oh yeah, one thing. Let me set up my alerts real quick. So Spencer, I analyzed odd NZD for you. So that's pretty much what I see happening there. I think it's going to come down further. I did take the trade on my own account, so you guys could feel comfortable about placing this trade, because I do think it's going to come down further. If not now, it might come down eventually, but we'll keep an eye on it since we're going to be live. I don't think I saw US 30 signal yet, so we should be okay with that for now. But let me pull that up in a little bit. Let's finish this up. So this is how I set my alerts, guys. If you guys are wondering how I set up my alerts, this is what I do. I set up my alerts like this with TP1, TP2, stop loss, etc., so that once we we hit our targets, I can give you guys updates on each of our active positions. So all my alerts are pretty much set up for this one. I got to set up my alerts for GCAD over there. So we got a sell position for this. We're done with CHFJPY. We do have a position for GCAD right here. Let me just set this up as well. It's going to be TP1, 12 pips. See what was TP2 for that. 5. All right, TP2 right here is for 25 pips. And then full TP is going to be 50 pips for GCAD. So this is currently active if you guys are in this trade. I just pulled back a bit. So I'm anticipating for this to, reject off this zone and then push right back up to hit our TPs. So I'm not too worried about that trade just because it pulled back a bit. It's normal. And if this bothers you guys have to, work on your trade psychology, because this happens a lot. It's like a break and retest pattern right here. Price broke. Now it's retesting. So here's what happened. Price broke up. It's retesting the structure. And then we anticipate it to continue back up like that. It's a classic break and retest. So if a lot of people are worried about this trade, this is completely normal for something like this to happen, because price hasn't broken this zone in a long time. You can see right here, it did the same thing. So I know a lot of people are not familiar with this stuff, but check this out right here. So like I mentioned, price broke the structure, it's retesting the structure, and it's going to shoot back up, right? So if you look at the same structure right here, let's see, where did I see that at? So here's another pattern right here. So price broke right here, broke the structure, retested, and then shot right back up. That's, basically what I anticipate happening right now with current position. So I'm not too worried about this, that it retraced back a little bit. We're on the 4-hour candle, so we have to be patient with it as it continues to move up. So here's US 30 right here. Basically what I said earlier, I said that people are going to buy the dip regardless. So that's kind of what's happening right here. It looks like people are buying the dip. So now we're just waiting for that buy signal so that we can ride it back up, which might be coming maybe on the next candle, actually. We'll have to see how the momentum swings up. All right, so I think everything's good here for the most part. All right, let me keep going down the questions, because we did have a couple questions before I started calling these trades. Yeah, I have a couple questions here too, but I'm going to respond to these later because we got a lot to do right now. So let me keep going down the questions, guys, and then I'll, if you guys ask me a question in the Telegram, I'll get back to you eventually, but not right now because I'm currently trading actively right now. So let's see. The next one was from Velocity. Velocity said, have you seen GU and GJ? They both went up like 60 to 100 pips. So let's see, GU. So GU probably went up because of the US news this morning. So let me put my chair down. I'm kind of tired of standing today. Lazy day for me. All right. As my chair comes down, let's check out GU real quick. So GU did spike from here, from basically, from this, well, that's from yesterday. Yeah, so GU spiked up about 60 pips, and the reason for that was mostly because of the U.S. news this morning. So if you look at the calendar, we had the core retail sales, which were, I think they were not good. They were negative. So you can see right here, they were forecasting a 6% increase, but there was only a 2% increase. So it was a huge difference between what was anticipated versus what actually was released. So that's why the data was lower, and that's why GU went up, because if price goes up in this direction, that means that the first currency is stronger than the second currency. So, obviously if price goes up like this, you can see the pairs as like a weighing scale. So right here, you can see that the pound is heavier than the US dollar. So that's why price goes up. Vice versa, if price is going down, that means that the US dollar is heavier or worth more than the pound. So right here, price went up because the data for US retail sales were lower than anticipated. So that's why there was a spike for GU. So let me go over to, well, it wasn't really a spike, but I mean, yeah, it was a heavy push up. We could look at GJ next. Same situation with GJ. So yeah, I mean, there was a spike right here as well. The reason for that's because the OPEC is going on today. You can see right here, it's all day news for OPEC for the JPY, I think. So yeah, so they're talking about the oil-rich nation. So if you're familiar with the JPY is a safe haven currency. So basically, I mean, it's like two big countries. It's like a world country, the UK plus the JPY. So that's why this spike went on, because they're probably discussing stuff at the OPEC meeting, and that probably caused this spike in price. But then it corrected back down. So price spiked up, and then it corrected back down, and then now it's going sideways. Because the meeting is still going on right now. So it's probably going to consolidate a bit before something happens in the meeting, causing it to, some sort of data is released with regard to what's going on with the nations. And if it's good news for the UK, it'll spike up. Just like I mentioned before, when price goes up, that means that the pound is stronger than the JPY. However, if the news is bad, then you can see it come down, because the JPY is a safe haven currency. So, if there's not good news for the UK, people are going to park their money in these safe haven currencies like the JPY and the CHF. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Currently, price is just consolidating. So until price breaks either upwards or downwards, there's not really much to really do, because you don't want to be trading a specific asset like this, a volatile asset, when it's consolidating, because you don't want to enter a sell and then price ends up spiking up. Vice versa, you don't want to enter a buy and then price spikes down. So I would hold off on JPY right now. I mean, not JPY, but GJ in general, until something is released in the news, because this is currently still going on all day today. And then we have the Fed speaking at 10 as well for the US. So, I mean, there's a lot of news today, guys. So I'd be careful with your positions. Make sure to close out or, eliminate your risk when possible, because there's a lot that can happen. Let me keep going down the list over here. Yeah, Velocity said GBP pairs seem to be affected. Spencer wants us to look at the GBP pair. So I did look at GJ. I looked at GU. Let's go check out GA right here. So for GA over here, let's just see if they're all correlated. So GA is bullish right now. GC is, I mean, sort of bullish. It's doing what I said. It's gonna, break and retest and shoot back up. So let's look at CHF. Yeah, GC. So GA, GC, and GN are all bullish. Check out GU. So GU too. So that's 4 GBP pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 2 that are just pulling back a bit, like GCAD right here. I see the break and retest happening here. And then also for GJ, it's just going sideways. So majority of the GBP pairs are bullish. You can see right here that they're up in percentage. There's a US 30 entry. All right, let's see how this plays out, guys. Let's see if this closes. So we have a few minutes left. Actually, we have 9 minutes. So I'm going to come back to US 30. There's no reason for us to really, be following it right now as much as we need to. So I'll come back to that in about 9 minutes, but let's go back to the GBP pairs. So right here for the GBP pairs, it looks like, overall, they're all pretty bullish. You can see that they're up in percentage. They're all green. So I do see them, pushing back up. Same with their GCAD right here. But we'll have to wait and see, because like I mentioned, the OPEC meeting is still going on right now, and it's going on all day. So with regard to this and with regard to the Fed speaking in a few hours, it could affect all the GBP pairs, because they're both major currencies. And, basically if something affects the US dollar, it's probably going to affect, the European countries that are in power as well, like the UK. And I'm sure they're going to be discussing, guidelines for COVID and stuff like that, with regard to stimulus. There's going to be a ton of things that are going to be talked about today with both the OPEC meeting and with the Fed speaking in a few hours. So we'll hang tight and we'll just keep, an eye on it, and then we'll see how it plays out in a bit. So let me see what else we got here. Velocity said it could be because it tested. Yeah, exactly, velocity. So, going back to US 30, I do agree with it testing these all-time highs for the year, and that's what caused the drop. But I mean, there was a lot of different factors that could have played. There's not just one factor. There's a ton of other factors that could have played out. So I'm not 100% sure, what caused the drop. But I mean, there's a lot of things we can speculate, just by looking at it, basically. So let's keep going down the list over here. All right, cool. So let me keep going down. Wisman said, wouldn't that affect like Walgreens? Yeah, I think Walgreens and CVS, like they all came down like pretty heavily. And yeah, I see what Peter mentioned right here on Market Watch shows that Walgreens and CVS stocks tumble after Amazon launches rival pharmacy. That's crazy. Amazon's taking over the world. Yeah, Usman said Amazon released plans for a new pharmacy for the USA for Prime members. That's pretty crazy. Eonin said, shorting the Dow and FTSE since 5 p.m. local time here in West Australia. Oh, you appear for your content. Nice, man. Yeah, so you've been shorting it for a bit. Looks like you would have made a ton of money off that because you probably caught it from the top, right? But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. We're still here like waiting for this to see how this candle closes. If it does close bullish, then maybe you should probably eliminate your risk or lock in some profits, because if it does close bullish, then it'll probably continue up further. However, if we get a false signal like we have right here, if we get a buy signal but it's a red bearish candle, then it'd be followed by another bearish candle. So we could probably, or bearish signal, and then we could probably ride this down. But we will we'll see how this plays out. We got 6 minutes left on this candle right here, so we can see how this moves from now until then. Let's see, I'm gonna keep going down the list over here. Looks like we got a bunch of messages still here. John said maybe it's doing a gap fill. Yeah, I mean that could happen as well, because there's a huge drop from right here. This would be where it begins from. So it can probably come up here. I mean, if it wants to, it can come up here, and then it can, let me check the zones over here. I mean, there's a ton of zones right here though, guys. So like, even if it does push up like that, it's gonna have to push through this area. So this could be what might happen here. Price might come up a little bit, and then if it rejects off this point, we can probably see it drop heavily. So that's the first line of defense right there. I mean, we'll see how this plays out. I'm just going to keep the zone there just in case, so we could have a visualization as to where price is likely to go. Because look, price is within this range right now, so it can literally do like some sort of push up right here, and then it can probably shoot right back down to the next zone, because it looks like right here this was a smooth push up. It looks like right here it's coming down, might retrace a bit, then shoot right back down. But I mean, we'll wait and see how that plays out. We're still going to be waiting for the signal to follow the daily strategy, but we'll see how this plays out, with time. Let's see. Nice. Jazz said, very interested in the UK sessions. Definitely going to start taking that. Yeah, Jazz, if you want to take that, probably connect with Mark, because he's the one that's been back testing it and figuring stuff out. So he probably has a lot more details on that strategy. But he said it works pretty well. So, I go with his word, and I think he knows what he's talking about. What's up, David? David's showing me GJ. So let me pull up GJ again. So for GJ over here, we were just discussing earlier, basically GJ is just consolidating right now. And we did have a sell signal right here, but price keeps rejecting off this point. The reason for this consolidation is because of the OPEC meeting. and also because the Fed's speaking soon. So right now there's like uncertainty in the direction of price, depending on what's being discussed at the OPEC meeting. So until something is discussed that either favors the GBP or doesn't, so if something's discussed there and it favors the GBP, then obviously it's going to spike up right here. So if we get a buy signal, like somewhat like this, we get a buy signal, it breaks structure. So this is possibly what could happen here. Price could either come back down, close within this structure right here, then we get a buy signal similar to what we had right here and right here. And as soon as we get that buy signal, it'll probably shoot all the way up if there's news favoring the pound. However, if there's news disfavoring the pound, this can probably break through here and then continue down further. Like what I can see happening is if there's not good news with UK, you can see a big spike and price down, kind of like what happened here. You can see price just literally spiked into the next zone, and right here as well. So you can see right here, like price was kind of, okay, so right here, price was consolidating a bit, spiked down, retraced back up, and then spiked down even harder. That's like one situation that could happen for this specific time right here. However, if there's some good news for the UK, then price can spike up just like it did right here. Price can come down a bit, and then if the news is good, it'll spike it up. So I mean, we don't know what's being discussed at the OPEC meeting because I don't think there's a live stream for it. But depending on what's being discussed there, let's see what their latest release was. Yeah, they don't even have any press releases yet from the actual meeting because the meeting is still going on. So there's a lot of things that could affect the market, with OPEC plus with the Fed speaking in a little bit. So for GJ, I wouldn't trade it right now personally, because it's just going to go sideways. And the thing is, there's going to be spikes in price when new information is released. Like right here, see this candle? This candle spiked like 100 pips, bro, 120 pips. So unless your stop loss is super wide, you can get spiked out before you even, reach the direction that you're trying to go to. Because the last thing you want to do is, either enter a sell and then it spikes up, or you can enter a buy and then it spikes down. Because I'm sure you don't have 120 pip stop loss, dude, if you decided to take this trade. Me neither. So that's why I wouldn't wait for it to, I would wait for it to, actually break up or for it to break down before I take any trades. Because this range right here is just way too wide. Even though it's consolidating, this range right here is still about, let's see, it's still like 100 pips. So unless you have a super wide stop loss, you're probably going to get spiked out if you try to play around with GJ right now. So I personally wouldn't play around with it. I would just wait for it to actually have some movement. Here's our AUDA NZD that's pending right now. Looks like it's going to play out. And then here's GC right here, like I mentioned earlier. It's classic break and retest. So I do see it coming back up. So those look fine. Let me keep going down the list over here and see what's going on. Velocity is saying, Velocity said you're selling in hopes that momentum turns bearish when it breaks the zone. No, Velocity. So for AUDA NZD, this is a late entry for this one right here. This sell signal right here never completed and it never hit stop loss. So for AUDA NZD, I see it dropping back down, filling the order and completing the move that it was supposed to make way back over here. Because this was like a little fake out. Price came down, it faked out a little bit. It's kind of like, some of our positions. Some of our positions, after we enter it, it just pulls back, right? It pulls back near stop loss, but then it doesn't hit stop loss, and then it comes straight back down to where it was supposed to go. So that's what I anticipate happening right here for AUDA NZD, and that's why I took the trade. It's just a late entry for this one over here, which never, we never filled because I never called this trade 2 days ago. So that's it for AUDA NZD right there. Let me keep going down real quick. John said, I'm currently in US 30 buy with a trailing stop loss. Oh, dang, John, you're crazy. Yeah, you must be in profit then, John. If you took this trade, you should be fine. Let's see. So if you did take that trade from the bottom, you'd probably be in profit about, nearly 1,500 pips already. and it's still pushing up even further. So we do have a buy signal right here. I mean, I personally don't want to take a buy signal just because of how the market's moving. So I mean, we'll have to we'll have to see how this plays out, because if this closes with a buy signal, I don't know if I would take it, because our TP1 would still have to reach right here, which would be past this structure, which I mean technically could hit, but our full TP would be way up here. So I don't know, guys. It's a bit risky. What do you guys think? I'll see how you guys feel about US 30. If you guys think we should take it or not, maybe we should take a poll. Right, I mean, it could break right through it. Check it out. It's pushing up pretty high. Maybe we'll take it. We'll see how it plays out in like 8 minutes. Got some time left before this this candle closes. So let's see. Jazz, yeah, I was on the 15-minute earlier, but I switched back to the 10-minute after I realized I was on the wrong time frame. So let me see what else we got here. Peter said, Shawn, you ever look at the 1 minute chart at all? I do when I'm scalping, but that's the only time I look at it. And when I'm scalping, I'm just looking for small moves. That's why I'm on the 1 minute. But I don't recommend anyone else do it unless you're like really comfortable with scalping. David said, caught 24 pips this morning, sold at 138. Nice. Let me go back to GJ real quick, because that's what David's talking about. Let's see, so David sold at 138. Dang, you sold like way down here, huh, bro? See, you basically sold when this candle closed, and then you cut it back down. That's nice. That's a pretty good scalp right there. I mean, yeah, for GJ, you can probably scalp it, but me personally, I wouldn't do it, because you know, when you scalp, your margins are pretty low because you want your stop loss to be pretty tight. And you know, that just gives opportunity for you to get stopped out, depending on what you're applying it on. So maybe if you go on the 5 minute, oh, that's wrong. Take that off. Yeah, I mean, you could have scalped it right here on the 5 minute as well. So we had some, I probably would have taken that, even though it would have been a good one. This right here would have been a decent buy. 20 pips. Yeah, we probably could have moved the stop loss up as it moved up again right here for this one, 12 pips. That would have hit full TP2 possibly. But yeah, it's just risky. I mean, even if you go on the 5 minute here for GJ, it's literally just bouncing around. It just looks too risky for myself to be you know, trading this. So I personally wouldn't have been trading it, but it does look like you can catch some decent scalps if you were, you know, willing to take that risk. But yeah, I mean, it looks here that the GJ is probably coming up. So if we get a buy signal here for GJ, it'll probably shoot up. But like I mentioned, the OPEC meeting is going on, so there's a lot of stuff that can affect it currently. Here's GC. GC is looking fine. It's swinging back up. GN right here is still coming down as well. So both of our two pending positions look pretty decent. Well, GCAD's active actually. GAN's the only one that's you know, pending right now. Oh man, let's see how this plays out. Let's see. Jess said, have you ever traded gold? What's your thoughts on it? I find it frustrating sometimes, but sometimes so lucrative. Yeah, it's lucrative if you're lucky. I used to trade gold before, but I lost a lot of money on gold once, and I just figured that it's not really worth trading. It's something that you could gamble with. You know, it's a gambling asset because it's so manipulated, and you know, the direction just goes back and forth. Gold is really news driven. So, you know, if there's stuff going on in the world, it's just like the JPY pairs. That's why a lot of people choose to trade the JPY pairs and gold, because they're both safe haven currencies. So if the country is not doing well, or, you know, the world's not doing well, people put their money in safe haven currencies like the JPY and gold. But the problem with gold is that it's so manipulated, because a lot of people know that people are, like, everyone knows what people are doing with gold. You know, when something is not going well in the country, people try to buy gold. So if you're trading gold, you know, it's just like I mentioned with the market makers and institutions. They know that people are gambling with gold, so they manipulate it and they spike price around because they know where your stop losses are. So what they'll do is they'll spike. So if I go to gold here, like you can see right here that people, whenever they trade gold, you know, price spikes like crazy. Like this spike yesterday, I'm sure there was a ton of people that were taking buys right here, right? Because yeah, like right here, like, so say if you see this, you know, this bullish move right here, and then people see this as a nice, you know, bullish move right here. So what happens right here when people see that is they try to, or they probably see it as, you know, some nice move up like that. And what happens is people try to enter like a long position right there, right? They put their stop loss at, you know, the previous structure somewhere down here. And then as price moves, it stops them out. So what happens here is people get stopped out. And then, you know, what usually happens if you get stopped out like that, you're like, oh, my stop loss was too tight. So what they do is they try to re-enter, right? Re-enter for another position right here. They make their stop loss a little wider. And then as it moves down, it stops them out again, right there. So the thing is with gold, it's a highly manipulated asset. I don't like to trade it because obviously I only like to trade stuff that, you know, my odds of winning are a lot higher than not, because I don't like trading assets that are, you know, highly manipulated. Aside from US 30, US 30 is one of the few assets that I actually do like to trade that's highly manipulated, because I only trade it during US session. I don't trade it all throughout the day, where it can be manipulated during, you know, Asia session or London session when the market's technically not open with regard to the New York Stock Exchange. But yeah, Jez, me personally, I just wouldn't trade gold. I don't recommend anyone to trade it. If you talk to anyone in the group, there's a lot of people in the group who have lost money trading gold. Usually if you win at gold, you're pretty much lucky, or your stop loss is super wide where you can catch these, you know, these swing movements right here. Because you can see right here, even if you took this buy, if you were to put your stop loss at the swing right here, you would have gone stopped out possibly, because this is how it moves. It usually it swings, then it pulls back right to your stop loss, and then it shoots all the way up. So it's just a risky asset to trade. And I'll come back to it right now because I'm trying to look at US 30 right here. Guys, it looks like we might have a buy right here. It looks like a risky buy, but I might just take it. Let's see. All right, guys. So we do have that structure right there. This is going to be a risky trade. Just to give you guys a disclaimer, it's going to be a risky trade. So if you guys aren't able to take the risk, then just don't take it. But I'm going to, I think I'm going to take it. All right. Got mine set up right here. We got 16 seconds left. So you guys are seeing this live right here. All right, I'm in the trade. So if you guys want to take it, I'm in the trade, guys. Just FYI, I'm already in the trade. I'm going to send this over to the group right now. Man, trading view is so slow. Yeah, guys, mine's active. So if you guys are wondering, because I know a lot of people like to keep asking if it's active or not, mine's active. So if you guys want to enter it, you guys can. My HTML parameters right here. So let me just enter my numbers over here, 92605. We got that. Stop loss right there. All right, guys, looks like we're good to go. I got everything set up. I'm in the trade, currently active. Just tell everyone here, because a lot of people are like, oh, mine didn't fill. Well, you should have joined the webinar then. All right, we'll see how this plays out, guys. Oh, come on. All right, let me update this real quick. So be good right there. All right, cool. So I got the setup right there. Let me set up my alerts real quick. Just want to make sure everything is on point. Setting my alerts real quick, guys, before we move on. All right, so yeah, it looks like we're good to go, guys. So let me just, all right, let me set my parameters on my phone because I didn't set mine up yet. I'm probably gonna put no target, or I'll just put it just in case. So stop loss 29455. Take profit is at 29755. All right, cool. So we're good with that. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're good for the most part. I've sent out the US 30 entry, so we'll see how that plays out, guys. Let's let it go. Let's see. Yeah, it just took the buy, so it looks like we're good to go on US 30. We'll keep an eye out on the news to see if there's anything new that's happening, because like I said, it's a heavy news day. We do have the Fed speaking in a couple hours, so that's probably going to affect the market, obviously. But okay, check this out. So OPEC looks like it might be done. OPEC meeting inclusive support for cut extension. All right, cool. So doesn't look like much really affect the OPEC. They're just deciding to cut oil production for a bit. And it makes sense because we're in COVID. There's not that many people traveling. There's a lot of shutdowns. So oh man. David said, damn it, I might have to run out to my car. Let's check this out. It's still at entry, David. Run fast. Oh man, that's funny. It's funny because I could picture David running out to his car. It's Army strong, huh, David? We'll see how he plays out. Okay, so US 30 looks fine. Ed said, "Is OPEC have an effect on the indices market?" I mean, OPEC can affect pretty much anything. It's OPEC is the oil industry, so obviously everything is kind of connected to the oil industry. All the investors are connected to the oil industry at some sort. If people aren't making their money, they're going to have to pull money from their investments in stocks and stuff like that. So I mean, the thing with how the world works is everything is kind of connected to oil. Everything is kind of connected to the major currencies. So there's a lot of things that can affect all types of markets. Like I wouldn't say it affects it directly, but if you just think about basic economics, what is one of the main leading I wouldn't say assets, but I guess commodities in the world, obviously oil. So people who are well invested in oil, who are also vested in the stock market, it'll have an effect regardless. And I'm not sure if there's any oil stocks that are even in US 30 anymore. I know Exxon used to be up a long time ago, but if they are, then yeah. But the index is changing pretty often. Let me see if there's let me check the Dow index. Dow 30 index. Yeah, because I'm not sure. So we got American Express, Boeing, Caterpillar. Procter & Gamble. I mean, the only things I can really think of that would really affect it, well, yeah, Chevron Corp right here, you can see it's down. Boeing, possibly. I think that might be it. So Chevron and Boeing are probably the two main things, that are related to the oil news that's going on. But like I mentioned, it could affect pretty much anything. Just because it's, these are the only oil ones that are that are somewhat connected. There's a ton of other things that can be affected as well, like Goldman Sachs. They invest in other stuff as well, which could be oil. Yeah, I can't really think. I mean, there's a ton of stuff here, but I don't know what's exactly what would be considered directly affected by oil. But who knows? And we'll see. Let's see the sectors. Let's see the oil sector. Oil sector would be under energy. So the oil sector is down, right? Well, I mean, everything's down literally today. But yeah, I mean, this would obviously, this has a 1% change. That's probably due to the OPEC meeting. But everything is kind of connected, one way or another. So let's go back to our positions over here. Our Dow is still at entry right now. Let me check our other positions. GCAD is still going to consolidate until it rejects off that point. Our odd NZD looks like it's coming down to fill our position. And I'm already out of NZD USD. I'm not sure if you guys are still in it. I got out of TP2, like somewhere around the middle. But yeah, that's all we have right now. We have those 3 positions currently active, plus our US 30 position. So I mean, that's pretty much it for right now. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to let me know, so we can go over it live. Otherwise, we'll just keep looking at the news to see if there's anything affecting our US 30 position. So I think that's all that we can really focus on right now. Here's Zach.
How much time people spend
That's what
on
he's got to
products,
say.
which goes counter to a lot of the memes and misinformation out there around how we operate. But my goal is to help people connect and find content and interactions that are going to be meaningful to them on our service. And our view is that if that's what we deliver over the long term and people find the services useful, then they'll use them more. But I don't think that companies should be optimizing to just encourage people to spend as much time as possible on them.
Well, time's about up. Have you seen the movie Social Dilemma?
Senator, I'm familiar with it.
Okay, have you seen it, Mr. Dorsey?
I think Zuckerberg and Dorsey both said they had not seen that picture. That's Chairman Graham of Senate Judiciary on this discussion of content moderation at Facebook and Twitter. David, not a lot of actual news out of it, although Dorsey did say that the week of October 27th, he labeled, that Twitter labeled 300,000 tweets. That's about 0.2% of all U.S. election-related tweets. And he's been pretty consistent in saying that it's not the policy that's the problem, it's how Twitter is communicating that policy to investors in America.
All right, it doesn't look like this is going to affect
continues to
us
say that improvements will.
currently. I mean, they're just Zuckerberg is testifying for Facebook. We'll keep bouncing back and forth to see what's going on with the trades or going on with the news that could affect our trades. But I think it looks like everything else is pretty much fine because it looks like it did hit some support right here, like I mentioned earlier. And as it did, it's it's now everyone's buying the dip. So everyone's buying the dip. We got the momentum confirmation right here, and then now it's swinging upwards. So we could we can see how this plays out. Looks good so far. We're in profit. Let me check my. Oh, look at that push up, guys. See that gap up? Oh man, we're about to hit TP, guys. And I feel bad for whoever signed off this webinar. You guys are missing out on this. All right, cool. So let's it's now pushing up right now. It's looking good. Let me see. Okay, we don't have anything on here. So currently, guys, I'm going to answer some questions in the chat real quick. Looks like we got a bunch over here. Let me see if there's anything else over here. So yeah, we're still following US 30 right here. It's starting to gap up right here. It's looking really nice. Hopefully it gaps up to our TP1 at least, and then you know, we can manage from there. We'll keep going down these questions real quick, guys. Just gonna knock these out. All right, let's see. All right, so Ravneet asked me about gold. Let me just pull up gold real quick because I had a question from Arrow about gold. Let's see. Here, Ravneet, I don't know if you're in this chat, if you're in the webinar right now, but I'm gonna look over gold because you sent me that sell. This right here. So it looked like you were identifying a sell. Let me see on the you're identifying a sell on the daily. That's a pretty big push. So if Neat was looking at this right here, I mean that's a really big push for gold right here. Here, let me just respond to I don't swing trade, so this is it's risky because there's a lot of news that's going on. So the news can spike price up or down, especially like in a few hours when the Fed speaks. But let me is Aaron in here? No, Aaron's not here. Like. All right, let me I think we are there. I don't know if Aaron's in here. Aaron K2, are you in this webinar? Let's see. All right, cool. So let me pull back. Nice. So US 30 is still pushing up right now. Let me check my profits currently. Yeah, profits, I'm pretty decent. I'm like at 500 to 600 in profit right now. So it's looking good for me currently. But yeah, I'm gonna keep hanging on to this. Looks like it could be pretty good. NBA Deputy Commissioner on TV viewership. Yeah, this news is kind of pointless for us, so it's no need for us to really take a look at that. Let me see what else we got here. Awesome, Spencer. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, no, definitely. You know, I like these morning sessions because I can help you guys live, especially when the market's actually moving. You know, before we used to have these sessions during Asia session, and the market was just too slow. There wasn't enough time. There wasn't enough volatility or time for us to really, you know, cover stuff that was really meaningful. So let me check this real quick. Yeah, our US 30 position is looking good. I have a lot of people asking about that right now. Let's see what else we got here. Trend of the merchant ownership. All right, Spencer wants us to take a look at UK 100. So let's pull up UK 100 real quick. I'll pull it up over here. And then Shawn wants us to take a look at the DAX. So we'll take a look at that as well. But let's look at NASDAQ real quick. I mean, not NASDAQ, UK 100. I'm going to go in the shorter time frame, 30-minute. Draw some zones on here real quick. Let's see. Personally, I don't think the zones are really necessary for certain pairs because, or certain assets, because a lot of them don't really respect the zone. Sometimes it's really based on momentum, especially for like these index funds, because you can see that price generally breaks like right through them. But looking at UK 100 right here, so we did get a buy signal right here. Let me check the trend. Trend looks like it's coming up, or looks like it's trying to break above. So you can see right here that this buy signal has broken past these two K2 pivots right here. So basically what I see happening here is if price breaks above this area over here even further, then we can probably see some sort of bullish move from there. Take everything off the chart. Yeah, because you can see right here, just looking at it from a bird's eye view, you can see how it usually respects the pivots as it moves above. So right here, price is below it, and as it closes above it, so it swings above it, it's likely going to continue upwards, because you can see right here how price comes. So price comes up, it swings back down, and then it breaks above it. And then whenever it breaks above it, it has a nice little gap up, right? Again, right here, price swings below, and then it has a nice swing up right here. So that's basically what I see happening right here as well for the UK 100. I see price swinging down, and then as it swings back up, it's probably going to push up even further. But you know, this is all speculation. I don't trade the UK 100, so I don't know exactly how it moves. You know, I can't really give you you know, a pinpoint analysis of the UK 100, but just looking at my normal analysis from, you know, using the K2 technical analysis right here, that's basically what I see happening over here, because price breaks, it looks like it came down right here. It's tested the zone twice. So it tested it right here. Grab this right here. Price tested right here. and then it's testing again right over here for like a double bottom sort of. So that's why I see it coming back up from this point. And then on top of that, same thing that I mentioned earlier with the K2 pivots, whenever price dips below, it generally recovers and people buy the dip at this point. So for UK 100, this is kind of what I see happening right here. However, like I mentioned, I don't trade UK 100, so I can't give you a very specific analysis on this because I just don't know how it moves. If I knew how it moved, I'd have better insight on the specific asset, but I don't trade it. So just analyzing it from a K2 perspective, this is basically what I see happening right here for the UK 100. All right, let's see. All right, so for Shawn, we're going to take a look at the DAX. Let me pull up the DAX real quick. Where's the DAX at? Right here. So we got the DAX right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw these zones on the chart again. Let's see, so we got this lower zone over here. I'm just going to draw some messy zones, guys, because it's not really necessary for a lot of these. Like I mentioned, for certain assets, the zones aren't as important as they are for like Forex, because Forex is like a ranging pair, so price goes back and forth. With indices, price generally just breaks through these zones whenever it likes. Like you can see this huge move right here. It didn't respect any zones. I mean, it kind of did. So it came up, and then every time it hit a zone, it kind of pushed down a little bit where it lost some momentum, and it literally just bounces around. But looking right here, so there's a pending buy signal right there. Let me hide this. And it's the same situation with the UK 100 right here as well, looks like. So basically, whenever price closes above it, it looks like it swings up a bit. But then it looks like it's in a downtrend right now. So depending if, so it's currently in, well, it was in a downtrend, and then it looks like it's trying to swing back up right here. So right here for the DAX, what I see happening is because it's establishing lower lows. So you can see right here, if we mark this up right here, as price continues to move down, it's establishing lower lows. So here's the high, here's the low, here's a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So you can see right here that it just keeps establishing, lower highs and lower lows. So if price breaks above this point, so you can see price is going to break this structure, or if it does break the structure, if it breaks above this structure right here and continues up to here, then we can anticipate it to correct back upwards, because it's just going to break the pattern where it's establishing lower lows and lower highs right here. Because you can see it's like a little staircase, but it looks like it's starting to lose its steam a bit, right? Because it looks like it might be swinging back up, looking at the K2 pivots right here, as it's starting to break above the pivots, and it's attempting to break above it each time. So if price breaks above this price point right here, and say it closes up here, then I anticipate it to continue up even further. So that's basically how I see the DAX right now. It just seems like a lot of the indices are kind of swinging bullish currently. Here's our US 30, it's about to hit TP1 right there. Looking great so far. But yeah, that's pretty much my analysis on DAX right now. I do see it. I mean, right now it's still indecisive, but if it breaks above this point, then definitely I see it moving bullish. However, if this closes below here and then drops back down further below this point, then I could see it continuing down. So this is probably going to be the point that I need to break for it to be bearish. And then this would be the point that I need to break for it to be bullish. So whether price breaks above it up here or breaks below down here, that will be the indication as to the continuation of direction. So that's pretty much how I see the DAX right now. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out before any decisions are made with regard to entering, the specific trade. Let me check my profits for US 30 right now. Yeah, profits are looking good, Mike. So if you look at my US 30 trades right here, let me just I'll post the update in the group, guys, so you guys can see. All right, let me post this in the group real quick. Great so far. All right. So let me so dumb. Let me see. I'm gonna send this over to. Let me send this over in the group real quick. Spencer, not yet. I haven't moved my my stop loss in profit. I'm gonna move it in profit once we hit TP1. Let me send this out to the groups real quick. I don't know if Aaron's in here. Is he in here? Aaron over here venting to me about his group. Aaron's flying. Let's see. All right, so this is looking all right so far. Yeah, US 30 is looking cool so far. To wait and see how this plays out. Let me see how my profits are sitting right now. Nice. Nice, looking good. All right, yeah, you guys see my profits right there for US 30. It's looking good so far. Oh man, it's funny, dude. Nice, Spencer. I just saw Spencer's profit. He's up 676 right now, looking real good. Let's see what else we got here. see what you said there, velocity. Let me I don't want to see how this plays out, bro. Moment of truth right here, right? See how this plays out. Hey Spencer, just FYI, I moved my stop loss and profit a little bit below where price currently is. And if I do get kicked out, I'm probably gonna hop back in. Spencer said yeah, so he got him when it dinged on his end, missed about 4 pips. Not too bad. But yeah, you know, just to protect my position because it's actually at a critical price point right here at 29,750. You know, David knows what's good with that. Thanks for David for that tip. But it is at a critical price point. So I do have my stop loss and profit right now, just in case, because even if I get kicked out, I'll probably just re-enter. But I'd rather be safe than, you know, sorry, obviously. Let me see where my stop loss is. Yeah, I don't know if David's over here, if this dude ran out to his car, probably did. I don't see David in here, so David's probably oh, here's David. David said, is Aaron still alive? Yeah, Aaron's over there dealing with his own chat. Now he knows how it is. He's over here venting to me. Let me see if he's telling Aaron to hop on here. Let's see if he can hop on real quick. Let me see. See, I'm gonna send Aaron this link so he can hop on this webinar. Let's see, invite link. We got Aaron coming in right now. See if he hops in. There we go. Yo, Aaron.
Yo, what up, bro?
What's up, man? What you doing?
I'm just laying down.
Yo, man, check it out, bro. US 30 right here. Ooh, about to hit full, not full TP, but TP1. All right, I'm ready to. You guys in US 30 too?
Oh shit! No, I had sold, bro. I sold a long time ago. I sold around like 29,600. Already TP'd already.
Nice, yeah.
It's crazy
Yeah.
how you can buy and sell and still make money, bro. Like I sold, you bought, we're both making money.
Yeah, we both hit it both ways, so it's cool. I was thinking about hopping into that sell too, but I was like saying that it was kind of risky. That
I had you like a little support line right there. You see where that little actually where price is at right now. That's where my little zones at. I had drilled and the price broke. I sold and it dropped like 150 points.
damn, yeah, because it's actually like at a resistance right now. But
My zone
you know, I usually don't follow that during the actual. David said, "Are you still coughing? You still got COVID?"
David, don't start. So I've been coughing a minute. I've been cool.
You good now? You're not coughing no more. Let's see. That's what, man. It looks like it literally like just missed TP, but it's still pushing. It's like trying to break through the structure right here. So we have I started marking up the structures at like 29,750, like at the whole numbers basically. Because it seems like oh, there we go. TP1, guys. We had TP1. Let me post this up right here. Here, look at the premium over here.
All right, let me see. Hold on.
Look at weight. Oh man, that's funny.
Damn. Oh shit. It wasn't the premium I was looking at. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's I don't know what to say to that, bro.
That's crazy.
Let me see my profits right now. Profits in pretty cool.
Damn.
Right about All right, nice. Yeah, we hit TP1, guys. I have my stop loss and profit already, guys. So if you guys are still in US 30, you know, just make sure to put your stop loss and profit because
Yeah, but Shawn,
crazy.
I'm calling now, so I'm gonna hit you up later on. All right, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hit me later.
All right.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Oh, shit, I gotta hang up. I forgot. Whee!
Oh man. All right, cool. So it looks like yeah, hey guys, I moved my stop loss and profit for, I'm just looking at my phone right now. If you guys wondering what I'm doing, just trying to see what's going on with price right now, because price is at a critical price point. Like I mentioned, it's at 29,750. So it's you know, to either reject off it, or if it breaks above it, then we can probably see it shoot up even further to full TP at this point. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out. Let me just give this update to everyone over here. Yeah, I'm still hanging on to mine right now. We'll see how this plays out. Damn, that's crazy. Damn, Kia was taking like, she let someone, I don't know if anyone is looking at the premium, but Kia over here, she let someone trade her account, and they pretty much blew her account for FTMO. So she's down like 16,000. This is why you guys should not let someone trade your account unless they actually know what they're doing, you know? There's a lot of people that try to fake it and act like they know what they're doing, but they, you know, they really don't. And this could end up to your FTMO right here. It could be negative almost 4,000, 5,000 for the whole day, hitting, you know, the max loss. So just be careful, guys. If you guys let anyone trade your FTMO, because majority of people don't really know how to trade. You know, a lot of people are a lot of fluff. They act like they know how to trade, but you know, unless they hold a webinar like this, like I'm doing with you guys, and they show you exactly their thought process and everything, then be very wary on, you know, who you let trade your account, because your account could go straight to zero super quickly if you're not careful with it. And it's funny. Damn. Yeah, so Ben over here, he's like he's telling, Ben is like he's telling her that he's like, sis, they trade demo. And that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that try to fake trading, you know. A lot of people don't really know what they're doing. We have a lot of people in the group that just copy my signals and act like it's theirs. And you know, there's nothing I can do about it. You know, regardless, people are going to copy people's other people's stuff until they get exposed. And you know, I just pretty much, I'll take that as a compliment if people want to steal my trades and send them in their own chat, because you know, we know what we're doing here, and you know, someone else thinks it's worth stealing, then you know, obviously our signals here are good. But Dan, look at Aaron. Aaron said they didn't even let your trade hit 10 pips SMH. They need to get exposed. The fuck is that? Yeah, Dan, that's crazy. I don't know how they went from, you know, 1 standard lot to 8 standard lots to 20 lots. Like, bro, what are they even, like, what were they doing? This is crazy right here, how much they lost. And they just kept going. Like, this was taken at 818, they lost $100. They took another trade like 30 minutes later, they lost $600. And they just kept taking these losses and losses after each other. So, I mean, if you guys are in the premium, maybe give some encouragement to Kia over here, because she's damn, just lost FTMO again. So let me here's our US 30. It looks great. So this is what I said, guys. If price breaks this structure right here, it's probably going to shoot up like pretty heavy. So yeah, it looks great so far. I'm going to move my stop loss up a little higher. All right, I moved my stop loss up to TP1. So I'm good right now. Let me just send this out to the group real quick. Yeah, probably sitting nice. Cool. Let me send it out to Premium real quick. Cool, looking nice. US 30. Real nice. That's good. Send this out to the groups real quick. Everyone chiming in over here. See, we got everything over here. All right, cool, guys. So yeah, our US 30 is looking great, guys. It hit TP1 already. I already moved my stop loss and profit, so I recommend everyone else does too. I'm currently pretty deep in profit right now. So if you look at my profits over here, I'm currently in profit, 1,425, and I did move my my stop loss in profit. So I've guaranteed my my profit so far. I have eliminated my risk, so we're pretty much good to go at this point. Let me see if anyone else. See, Ark is sending something right now. I think Ark's got some profits coming up. Let's see, Ark, are you in here? Let's see what he's doing. Ed said, "Oh yeah, no." So, so basically, Ed said that he told you guys that he lost 5K, on FTMO. And it's kind of, that's an issue with a lot of people because it kind of turns into a bit of a, an addiction at that point. You guys got to remember not to trade with, don't trade with emotions. Make sure to trade with strategy and skill, like every time, because there's a high chance that if you just keep trading with emotion, it's going to turn into an addiction. Which I mean, that's how trading is. Trading is an addiction. Honestly, if you're not able to control your trading or trade, with strategy, then that's literally all it is. It's just an addiction at that point. So I mean, you guys gotta be able to control that because I think it could go south real quick. And I know from firsthand experience because when I first started trading, I wasn't that profitable. I was blowing money like it was a freaking firestorm. Literally just depositing, and never really making profit for like maybe the first 3-4 years, or no, maybe not 4 years, but maybe like first 3 years because I didn't know what I was doing. And then, I bounced back real quick once I started to lock down my trade psychology, and once I started to get down to these K2 strategies, down to a T. And that's why I'm sharing this with you guys, because I've been in that boat before, guys. I've been to a point where trading was literally just an addiction for me. It was me just throwing away money. And then, I finally figured out how to get around that. All right, cool. So it looks like I got stuck down in profit, which is completely fine. So I'm good for the day. But yeah, it looks like it's going to continue. Man, Ark's funny. Ark sent out these cool little gifts. I don't know if Ark's in this room right now. Velocity, damn it, I sold early. Yeah, guys, so it's starting to trace back a little bit. So I got stopped out in profit already, guys. I don't know if you guys are still in it. If you guys are still in it, it's probably going to continue pushing, but with the way that the market's moving right now, it's super risky. So I'd recommend that you at least move your stop loss and profit to guarantee profits in case it ends up spiking around. Also, we have the Fed speaking in about an hour and a half. So that's likely to affect the market. So here's a spike down, guys. This is why I recommend that you guys move your stop loss and profit, because we're not sure how the market's going to be moving. All right, let me see. All right, cool. So there's a US 30. You know, what might happen here is if this candle doesn't close below this structure, it's probably going to reject off it and shoot right back up. So if that's the case, I'm probably going to, possibly re-enter. We'll see how this plays out in a bit. Let me check out my messages real quick. So I got a bunch of messages coming. All right, we got about 2 minutes left in this candle. Like I mentioned right here, if this doesn't close below it and it rejects off it, it's probably going to continue pushing up. So I might make a re-entry, but I mean, we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I really want to make a re-entry, but I also don't want to risk it because I already know, like, if I try to make a re-entry, it's probably going to do the complete opposite of what I was anticipating. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys locked in some nice profits off that trade, because I locked in some real nice profits off mine. I gave you guys some updates. So if you guys are following in the premium group, I gave all the updates right here. So, I called the US 30 trade, and then I posted all my profits as it continued to move in profit. So this is where I ended up closing out about 1,400 off this trade, which is not bad. We made that in like less than an hour. Actually, not even an hour. Check this out. We were only in this trade for 40 minutes. So that's not bad. Make someone's whole paycheck in like 40 minutes, just taking US 30. So it just shows you guys the, the opportunity that's available if you guys know how to trade properly, and if you guys know how to trade the proper assets. Like I do, I would trade US 30 over gold any day. So, that goes to show that if you find an asset that you're really good at trading, like for me, I'm really good at trading US 30, then, you can make a ton of profit off it. You can literally make a living off it as well. Similar to me, this is pretty much, this win right here pretty much paid off my car payment for my Tesla. And then, the next couple wins will probably pay off my rent. So, you just got to attach things to these profits. If you start like locking in these profits right here, you're like, okay, what can I pay for with, this much profit? And, this is FTMO. I'm going to, that's a disclaimer. So even if this is FTMO and I lock in 1425 and I only keep 70%, I still keep about 1,000 of that. It still covers a car payment, partial rent in some instances. And if you do this daily, say if you do this like, let's say like twice a week, you take like 2 winning US 30 trades a week, and then you multiply that by 4. This is how much you would possibly make, for an entire month. And this is a payout. This is after FTMO takes their cut. And this is a nice thing to look forward to, because you multiply that by 12, you're locking in nearly 100K a year just trading FTMO on one account. And then once you have like 2 accounts, you multiply that by 2, and you're it just multiplies, guys. So there's a ton of opportunity out there if you can do things properly. Like for me, whenever people ask me about FTMO, all I take is US 30. A lot of people want to overdo things. Like people want to trade, they want to trade US 30, they want to trade NASDAQ, they want to do way too much. And when you do that, you end up failing at everything. So what I recommend is just find one asset that you're good at or that you like to trade, and then just master it. Master US 30, master GJ, master EU, something that you really like. Because if you look at a specific asset long enough, like say if you look at US 30 like every single day, like how I do, you'll be able to identify these patterns a lot easier than, you know, you trying to be a master at literally everything and then end up failing at everything as well. So that's just some words of encouragement for you guys, for a lot of people that are discouraged with trading. But it's, you know, it's a strong possibility. You guys have been live with me every day for like the past 2 weeks. You've seen me call these trades live, and you've seen these profits hit, you know, time and time again. So it is possible. It's just that you guys have to take control of your account, take responsibility for your mistakes and stuff like that, so that you can learn and continue to grow with K2. Let's see. Art said that makes me feel better, Shawn. 3 years losing money, now you feel free. I understand when you say move your stop loss and profit means once past TP1 for a little distance and move to TP1. Exactly, Art. So if you saw how I did it today, I let it breathe a little bit, and then I moved my stop loss to TP1, and then I ended up getting stopped out at 1400. I could have got if this pushed a full TP over here, I could have locked in 2,250. But I'm happy with my 1,400. How can you complain about making 1,400? You would have made a little more. So if I ran to full TP, which is probably going to hit right here, that would be full TP. You subtract that by 1,425. I just lost like $825 of more potential profit, but I'm still in profit. The thing is, you want to close your day out in blue. Every day you want to close your day out in blue, because if you just keep closing your day out in blue, it's just going to keep stacking and stacking and stacking over time. So you won't have to worry about being the negative, as long as you manage your positions properly. So here's US 30 right here. Like I mentioned, if price was to close above this structure right here, it's going to continue up to full TP, which is probably what's going to happen. But I'm happy with my profit, so I'm not going to re-enter this trade and increase risk, just to lock in a little more profit. It's not worth the risk. Because look, this is what could happen. If I enter right here and price pulls down, I could throw away all my profits that I just locked in. So sometimes you just have to learn how to control yourself when you're trading, because if you just keep stacking these profits up, they're going to keep adding up. Like right here. So if I had 1425, say if I hit TP1 every time and I don't even go for full TP. If you do that 3 times, times 4, so you would have made 17,000 for the month, right? And then from there, you take your cut 70%. You still take home 11,970 monthly, just trading one FTMO account. You multiply that by 12 for 1 year, you could lock in $143,640 in net profit. So this is after FTMO takes their cut. So, I mean, if you ask me, I think that's a great trade. Trade-off. So it looks like our odd NZD might have filled. Let's see. So my odd NZD filled, but it hasn't dropped to entry. It's because of my spread, guys. So this is what I talked about spread sometimes. I didn't necessarily, or actually no, because I wanted to enter at that price point anyway. So technically, where price currently is with the addition of the spread, it filled me in. So I'm currently in odd NZD right now, if you guys are trying to enter this trade. So I'm currently in it. If you guys want to enter it, you guys are more than welcome to enter market right now, because I'm already in the trade. So I have a vested interest in this specific pair right now. So I'm anticipating that to swing down. Same with GCAD right here. Same situation that I was discussing earlier. Price is just stuck right there, but I think on the following candle, it's going to reject off and shoot up to TP over here. So I'm currently in odd NZD right now. You can see that my position's active. I have a 179,965 unit position size, and this is equivalent to around a 1.8 lot size. So I'm taking a standard lot of a 1.8 right now for odd NZD. And this is my live account right here. So you can see that I actually want this to come down and hit TP. And this is just me being transparent with you guys. This is my real account. You can see right here, there's my name, Mr. Shawn Kaliag, and this is my Forex.com account, my live account. So when I do call these trades, guys, just keep in mind that these are trades that I actually think are going to win. I'm not just calling some random trades out just to give you guys signals. I'm calling out trades that I'm actually taking and that I actually want to hit TP, because I have money on the line as well, just like you guys. And I'm not just a signal provider. I'm not just a a mentor. I'm actually a trader. Like I'm taking these trades with you guys, so you guys can feel comfortable taking these trades with me, because we both want it to go to the same, the same place. I'm not just calling these trades and not taking the trades. I'm calling them and I'm taking them with you guys. So looking at US 30 right now, this is exactly what I was just talking about. This is why I didn't re-enter the trade, because it's in a risky price point right now because of what happened earlier. So right here, you can see price came down from London session, or from right here actually, came down and then it retraced up a little bit. So now that it's reached this point, which is like some sort of area of resistance, it can either, reject back down. Let's see, so it'll be around here. So at this point, it has rejected off for a double top right here, right? It can either reject back down or it can spike all the way up. I think eventually it'll come back up because people are still buying the dip right now, right? After this big drop right here. So it might play around before it shoots all the way up, but it's not a risk that I'm willing to take because the Fed's going to be speaking soon. So, I mean, we'll keep checking back at that. Not sure if you guys have any other questions, but yeah, I think that's it for right now. I might hang on with you guys for a bit. The next borrow candle closes in about an hour and a half, so that's a lot of time. So unless you guys have any questions, we'll probably just hang around for a bit. If nothing comes in, then we might just take, call it a day. And then I'll probably be still calling signals off the next 4-hour candle close. But right now, currently, there's just nothing to really look at currently, unless I pull up CNBC. Let's see if there's anything crazy going on. Looks like it's on a commercial break right now. Looking at the calendar, yeah, we have the Fed speaking at 10. So it's going to be a bit risky once we get to that point. But yeah, I think overall it should be cool. Let's see. Some people are sending me profits right now. I'm trying to see what everyone's doing. Nice. So Spencer made about 1,100 off US 30 today. It's real good. So yeah, so like Spencer over here, he locked in 600, but then he said he got 1,100 off US 30 today, so that's real good. Let me see what Ed got over here. So yeah, Ed's profits are right here as well. I don't know why Ed's pictures always come up like this, where I have to download them, but wow. Okay, so Ed right here locked in 1,100 as well. So it looks like everyone locked in about 1,100, which is amazing. I love seeing the team win, or like everyone's pretty much winning. Here goes let's see, dang dude locked in 1,800 right here, Paola. So Paola locked in 1,800. That's just what I just mentioned. Like everyone locked in at least well over 1,000. So everything looks good. Paola locked in 1,000 right there. Spencer locked in 1,000, 1,100. Edward locked in another 1,100 right there as well. So we're all killing it, guys. You guys can see that, I'm not the only one that's profiting here. There's a ton of other people that are profiting as well. So, if the system works, then I don't understand why people are still like questioning it or they look elsewhere. You guys have the blueprint right in front of you. You guys have the strategy. You guys can apply it yourself if you really wanted to. But I mean, some people just don't like to win. A lot of people like to make it more difficult than it really is. A lot of people don't like to believe in success. So, I mean, that's really on them if they don't want to be part of this, but we're just going to keep winning regardless, and we're going to keep winning together as a team. So let me see what else we got here. Let's see, Velocity just messaged me. Tell me how this sounds to you for a trading plan. 15 lots, buy, sells, 3 entries, 5 lots each. Sell 10 lots at TP1, move price under TP1. That actually sounds all right. Yeah. Something. See, I'm gonna check out the premium chat right now. Let's see what's going on with everybody over here. Nice. All right, cool. So that looks cool right there. Here goes our US 30, guys. This is exactly what I was just talking about earlier. I said if price breaks above the structure, it's probably going to go up to full TP, even though there's a resistance right there. And that's probably what's going to happen. It looks like that's what's happening right now currently. It's pushing up further. So, and we'll see how this plays out. See, odd NZDs now, it should have been filled. So let me, it's now active. See, Ed said, Shawn, in a hypothetical situation where US 30 drops due to Powell, would you re-enter? I personally wouldn't. Any manipulated move that's due to news, I don't chase news because that's just gambling, literally, because you're just basically betting that it's going to continue up. But you know, if he drops, if he causes price to drop, then you're going to have a lot of people that are trying to bandwagon on that. So you're going to have people that are bandwagoning on that. You're also going to have people that are trying to trade the opposite. So it's just straight speculation, straight gambling. And that's why I don't trade news and why I avoid it, you know, generally, because it's just too risky. You know, actually, I'm probably not even going to call any trades during the Fed speaking because it's going to cause a lot of spikes in price. Hopefully our US 30 right here, it's full TP before we reach that. We have about an hour left, so I think it should hit full TP by then. But yeah, this is what I meant right here. So this is why I don't really draw structure, guys, for US 30, because for indices, it's basically it moves directly off news and off momentum. So regardless as to whether there's structure right here, you can see price is probably going to break right through it. So it's kind of irrelevant. I mean, it's good to give you guys a little confirmation as to, you know, where price might be rejecting from, but most of the time price breaks right through it. So that's why I generally don't draw structures for US 30 because it just makes it a little irrelevant in some instances. So there's our US 30 right there. Odd NZD's pushing down into profit. GCAD over here is still pushing down a little bit. I mean, hopefully this rejects off its point, but we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, guys, I don't think I'm going to be calling any more trades until after the Fed speaks, because it's just going to affect the market a little too heavy, and I don't want to take any unnecessary risk at this time. Nice. RX, can you do the calculations on 1 year against beautiful? Yeah, so RX, check this out. So this is me being like really conservative. So say if you go for full TP, right? Because I know we talked about this arc where you know, you kind of want to just let the trades run a full TP rather than moving your stop loss up. So basically, if you're trading a 15 lot, you're going to be locking in 2,250 per trade, right? So to be on the safe side, there, you know, it's 5 trading days in a week. And then, so say you win 2 trades, right? So you win 2 trades, or you win 3 trades each week, which is, it's very doable. So if you look at our results here, let me pull up the results real quick. So looking at our indices results per week, we usually have, okay, so we have about maybe, you know, 2 or 3 wins per week. So we'll just round that up to, actually there's more than that. So it looks like on average, we probably have about 3 or 4 wins. I'm going to be very conservative, just say 3 wins a week, right? So say we have 3 wins a week. That's going to be, or here, let me be even more conservative because I don't want to get your hopes up way too high. All right, I want to make sure that, okay, yeah, so calculations for 2 wins per week. So say we have 3 wins per week, but then we have 1 loss. We're just going to factor in 1 loss each week, which, you know, it's inevitable. It'll happen sometimes, not every time, but it'll happen. So we'll do 3 wins minus 1 loss. That's 2 wins per week. Multiply that by 22500 right here. That's going to be 4,500 profit weekly, right? You multiply that by 4 because most months have 4 weeks in each month. That's going to be 18,000. Now you take your cut, which is going to be 70%. Your take home is going to be $12,600 per month. You multiply that by 12, you're going to be locking in $151,200 every year, just trading the daily US 30 entry on FTMO. And then once you have 2 FTMO accounts, you multiply that by 2 and check that out. You can make 302,000 annually. And this is just trading US 30 on the FTMO like I'm doing. And then, so let's see if you want to do, if you have 3 accounts, right? You multiply it by 3, you have nearly $500,000 just from trading US 30 every day with me, which is totally possible. Because if you look at our results here, look how many wins we've had here. So if we just calculate the wins for this year so far. So 72 minus 17. So 55 wins so far, right? You multiply by 2250. That's you could literally be like above 100K already if you took every trade this year on the FTMO with a 15 standard lot. This is how much you could possibly be, you know, in profit at this point if it was done properly. So I mean, that goes to show that there's a lot of opportunity out there, you know, if you guys decide to take your trading seriously. Ed said, are the wins sent on Telegram TP1 or TP2? Most of the time they're TP2 because we usually don't hit TP1. It's usually either TP2 or stop loss. And then maybe like 10% of the trades go to TP1 because normally they don't really, you know, it's either they go one way or the other. They either go to stop loss or they go to full TP. And then in some, you know, rare instances, they only go to TP1, which is probably 10% of the time. So like, let's see, US 30 right here. It looks good so far. Let's see. All right, cool. I was just trying to check out my my positions and see how everything's going. So AUD and ZD still coming down further. See what's new in TradingView. Volume tool. Nice. So they increased some stuff on here. Might have to make some adjustments to the indicator so we have more lines for the K2SR. Yeah, Ark, you could just divide that by half. So even if you wanted to do that, that's still 55 wins times 1 full TP, which would be about 1125. So this is how much it would be by then, like at this point right now. So if you took every trade, so yeah, you know, I'm gonna be very conservative. I don't want to get your hopes too high because a lot of people think it's that easy to you know, lock in that much profit. But yeah, same situation. If you just want to count TP1, so 72 minus 17 is going to be 55 wins times only TP1. So we're not even counting TP2. Wait, what was it? 225, yeah. So if you took every trade from May until now and you only took TP1, you didn't even go for full TP, you'd still be in profit about 61,000. If you're trading a 15 standard lot for US 30. So, you know, there's a ton of potential there even if you just take TP1. So if that's what you want to do, Ark, and you just want to go for TP1, just do that. Because, you know, regardless, it looks like you'd still be heavily in profit, even if that was the case, because we never have back-to-back losses. We usually at least hit TP1 almost every time. So if you do that every single time, it's just going to compound over time. And yeah, I think it's totally worth the risk. But yeah, guys, so it looks like everything is pretty much slowed down since, so Spencer said, nice. So Spencer's been doing 13 lots, should be doing 15. Yeah, Spencer, 15 would yeah, your profit risk would be 2,250. And yeah, you won't hit max loss unless you lost 4 days in a row, which is unheard of. We don't even lose 2 days in a row most of the time. I think the most we've lost was 2 days in a row, and that was because of my mistakes and because of news in some instances. So I mean, I'm even thinking back to RX theory to just hit TP1 every time, because that's actually pretty good, right, Art? I mean, because that's going to end you in profit regardless at the end of the month, week, year, and it usually balances out because we almost always hit TP1. So Art, that might be our next move, or I mean your next move, I guess. Just shoot for TP1, and I'll probably start doing the same as well, just to be able to lock in profits each time. Because when you try to reach for full TP, that increases a lot of risk because we almost always hit TP1. So if you can lock in those profits each time, even though it's the risk reward kind of sucks, it's kind of similar to scalping where you have to go for 1 to 2 instead of 1 for 1. I still think it's definitely going to be a lot profitable. I mean, very profitable, and a lot easier for you to hit that versus going for full TP where you're just stressing out to hit full TP each time. Yeah, and Ed said also, if you're risking 2.5, make sure you're not trading other assets in pairs. Exactly, and that's what I've been telling people for FTMO. I only trade US 30 on it. Let's see. Please learn your strategy. Let's see. I'm just gonna put it. People are asking about the strategy. Reminder, US 30. So I'm gonna see what's going on in the chat over here. Nice. So Samir sent out some trades for FUBU. Nice, FUBU. Oh man, it's funny because Kia sent her messages with the guy that was trading her account, and then Ben sends this Chuck E. Cheese meme. It's funny. Damn. Freaking Aaron, man, Aaron's funny. All right, guys. So I think this is it for the day, guys. I had to get on with my day. I got a bunch of stuff to do today, but we did make some profit off US 30. It's probably still going to keep pushing up to full TP. Our audit ZD is currently active. I'm currently in, it pulled back a little bit, but I think it's going to come back down. Our GCAD right here, I still see it rejecting off this structure right here. And our audit ZD, it's rejecting off the structure as well. But I already got it at TP2. So I recommend that you guys are cognizant of like the news that's coming up, because we do have the Fed coming up in about an hour. So I'm going to send you guys an update to, maybe hold off the market until that's done. But yeah, I think this, actually, let me read what Art said. Ed said, Shawn, you take pre-workout for the gym? I do, but the gym is just closed here in Orange County. So unfortunately, no more gym for me. I'm just going to go for for a run with my dog. So I'm gonna go for a run in a bit because the Fed is speaking about an hour, so I'm not gonna be trading that anyways. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Meanwhile, and then I'll probably catch you guys back in the Telegram chat. See, Ark said, well, I missed the trade. I had an alarm out, but volume was not loud. But I'm happy because I understand it's like my part-time job. It's a mindset. I just need to wake up until noon like I did before. Yeah, Ark, definitely. You got to treat trading like a business, like a job, in order to be successful. Because until you take trading seriously and you start to learn from your mistakes, that's when you start to have a breakthrough with your trading. And I do believe in you, Art, because we've had this talk. You're on a good path where you're looking for that freedom. So if you just keep consistent with trading and just take the advice that I give you, then you can do perfectly fine long distance. I mean, not like long distance, long term. But yeah, no problem, Matt. So yeah, Matt said thanks. Since we started trading live, it's been great. Yeah, I agree. Even for myself, because we're all in tune with our trading and we're all, trying to level up in any way possible. But yeah, guys, so I'll be available in the Telegram. Otherwise you guys can reach out to me on there or on email or wherever you guys want to reach me from if you guys have any questions. But I'm going to take a break because we do have the Fed coming up in about an hour. There's no point in trading during that time. So I'll catch you guys back in the chat in a little bit. Thanks for showing up, guys. And then we'll be back on this tomorrow morning.